It's that fantasy chick, and we're back again. And it's another Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about Ahsoka. But before we get to that, we want to talk about some union news. Marvel's VFX workers voted to form a union. So, of course, there's an article about that. Okay. So, Marvel visual effects workers unanimously vote yes to unionize. IATSE aims to form a national VFX local by year's end. It's official in a unanimous vote. The visual effects employees at Marvel Studios voted to unionize with IATSE in a closely watched election held by the National Labor Relations Board. The vote marks the first time a unit of solely VFX workers has unionized with IATSE. Voting closed on Monday after the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees and Disney Marvel reached a stipulated election agreement last month. According to today's announcements from IATSE, there was a high turnout from the roughly 50 Marvel employees, which includes jobs such as VFX coordinators and data wranglers. The result was expected as a supermajority of these workers has already signed authorization cards indicating they wish to be represented by the union. The next step for the union is to engage in collective bargaining negotiations with the studio to draft a union contract. A date for these negotiations has yet to be scheduled. Roughly 18 staffers that work in VFX at Walt Disney Pictures are also voting on unionization. That vote began Friday and runs through October 2nd. In both cases, this includes those employed directly by the studio. It doesn't include the thousands of artists who work on Marvel and Disney movies through third-party VFX companies. With these elections, IATSE wishes to form a new broad national VFX local that it hopes to launch before the end of the year. IATSE organizer Mark Patch says the aim would be to have members of such a local work under the basic agreement contract already used by entertainment workers in 13 locals, including the International Cinematographers Guild, Local 600, Motion Picture Editors Guild, Local 700, and Art Directors Guild, Local 800. The current basic agreement expires in 2024, and negotiations for a new contract are expected to begin next March. Boy, oh boy. Today, VFX workers at Marvel Studios spoke with a unanimous collective voice demanding fair pay for the hours they work, health care, a safe and sustainable working environment, and respect for the work they do, says Patch. There could be no stronger statement highlighting the overwhelming need for us to continue our work and bring union protections and standards to all VFX workers across the industry. And there could be no stronger example of the courage and solidarity of these workers than each and every one of them declaring union yes. The Marvel vote comes after a tumultuous several months in this field. In March, Marvel fired Victoria Alonso, who oversaw VFX at the studio, though the departure was said to be over issues unrelated to those duties. Marvel also made headlines when anonymous VFX pros complained about untenable working conditions, including long hours and 7-day work weeks. Oh no. These concerns, as well as unpaid overtime, credits, wages, and retirement benefits are among the key issues identified by VFX workers that would like to see change. A decade ago, following the bankruptcy of the Rhythm and Hues, in the wake of finishing its Oscar-winning work on Life of Pi, the VFX industry actively explored the potential of a union, as well as other efforts to change what is viewed in the community as a broken business model. Yes. I know it took them a long time to gather the courage to get this union together, because they were afraid if we unionize, they may take all of our work overseas. So this is it's really important that they're doing this. Yes, Marvel has been wilding out. They've been wilding. And yes, and I remember reading an article back those months ago surrounding the controversy surrounding Victoria Alonso's exit and all the messiness that surrounded that. And all the speculation that they had on why she left or what really happened. But here we are all these months later, and now there's a union, a much needed union. So Marvel voted for it. Disney is in the process of voting for it. So IATSE is hoping that by the end of the year, they'll have their own VFX local. And I don't see why not. And they'll probably have a contract by the time it's time for them to renegotiate all the other locals' contracts, because they're kind of busy right now with other concerns. But seriously, they really need to come to the table and come correct with these negotiations, so these strikes can stop, because they're pushing everything back. Stranger Things has been pushed back to 2025. So it's getting serious, people. It is getting serious. The strike needs to stop. The strike needs to stop. But yeah. Okay. So I watched Ahsoka today. Was it just me, or was it a long episode? I feel like the episode was longer than usual, or maybe it was just me. But so we spent half of the episode with Ahsoka fighting Anakin's Force ghost. Them boys are gonna have deep, deep voices. Their voices are gonna be like 2 octaves lower. So yeah, this episode felt longer. So, but you spent half the episode fighting with Anakin's Force ghost. I was trying to figure out, what was he trying to get out of her? I guess he was trying to get her to fight to stay alive. I guess she was. It makes you wonder, was she unconscious the whole time? But the little boy heard the lightsabers. So he could hear the lightsabers fighting. So was he hearing it in the Force? What was going on? What was going on? Because if it wasn't for the little boy hearing the lightsabers, I would have been like, oh, she was unconscious, and this was her, subconscious trying to get her to fight for her life and live so they can, find her and save her. But to be a full-blown warrior, maybe that's it. Maybe she was afraid of being a full-blown warrior because her master was Darth Vader, and you would be afraid of becoming that. So, so I guess he was trying to show her that she could be a warrior without becoming evil, because the evil Force user was telling her I think, did he say her legacy was death and destruction? Basically, like, all they bring is death and destruction, which was a lie. I'm like, first of all, why are you listening to this evil Force user in the first place? He's the one who's trying to bring back the Empire, but you're going to listen to him and listen to what he has to say about you. I think she internalized what that dude said about her. And that's what brought Anakin back into her subconscious. Hmm. This could be a callback to that spiritual journey that she had for 7 years. During the time we didn't know what she was doing. That's unaccounted for. So yeah. But it's interesting that they casted this little girl to play her. I never realized, because I saw Ahsoka. I would see clips of her in the Clone Wars. I didn't realize that she was that young. I didn't realize she was that young. It never occurred to me how young she was, but she was a child. But I guess she would have to be in order to be Anakin's Padawan. But still, it just never occurred to me that she was a child. So to see, to bring her in live action as a child, it finally dawned on me. Oh, she was a child in the Clone Wars, up there fighting the Clone Wars. That's kind of a big deal. She was a child soldier. So, yeah, that's kind of a big deal. And then the second half of the show is spent figuring out how in the heck they're going to get Sabine back. That dumb chick. She used the Force. I didn't realize the Force could tap into memories, but the Force can tap into memories. The Force can do whatever you need it to do. The Force can tap into memories. So she was able to see exactly what happened. And she knows Sabine is on that ship. And somehow, space whales floating overhead is going to take them to where they what do you call it? I'm mixing up the that they jump to. I keep mixing up the Star Trek and the Star Wars terms. I want to say warp, but that's Star Trek. Do I feel like this was a filler episode? I don't think so. I don't think they would bring back Hayden Christensen for a filler episode. I wouldn't call an episode with Hayden Christensen a filler episode. It's I mean, yes, it did not go forward in the plot until the very end when they got with the space whales, who's going to take them to where they jumped to get to Sabine. But other things happened in the plot. You had the fleet come to try to take them away, and now you know the general is her whole position is in danger. She may lose her position. And with Ahsoka gone, Ahsoka is supposed to be able to testify for her, but Ahsoka's gone after Sabine, so there's a person to testify for her. She on her own, at least for now. So yeah, the space whales. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, we got space whales. We got space whales. They go straight up, link up with these space whales. And these space whales gonna take them to where they gonna need to be. And that's exactly what happened. And I still can't, even though I called it, I still can't believe that they did it. Because, okay. So the space whales must be connected to the force in some way. And they must have, I don't know how to explain it. They just, you know, because they were in space, they have the exact coordinates to where these people jumped into hyperspace. And the fact that animals can just jump into hyperspace like that, that's low-key kind of dope. Even though I'm sitting here like space whales. But it was kind of low-key kind of dope the way you had animals that could just jump into hyperspace. Even though I felt like it was very, very convenient. Yeah. That was like, and then the fact that they all jump together. So they're psychically connected. So they all can jump to the same spot. And somehow she was able to talk to him through the force. So he knows where she needs him to take him. So he psychically conveyed that idea to all of them. So they all jump into that spot together. So it's kind of crazy. it's kind of crazy thinking of the mechanics of what just happened, but space whales. We have space whales, people. Um Yeah. But yeah, so Space Whales, General Hera, is that her name? Hera. She about to get she about to get taken back by the fleet and she's about to be reprimanded basically. Politics. Here's what I don't like. They're so busy policing their own. They don't have the time to police the right people. Like this chick straight up escaped. You know, she's an escaped prisoner. Ain't nobody looking for her. Nobody's looking for her. They're like, we're following her. And they're like, yeah, no, let her go. Nobody's looking for this escaped prisoner. Nobody cares where she's going. Like, really? Really? Oh, yeah. Yes, they all jump together. It's crazy. Space whales spilled all the things. He's like, look, they about to connect with some space whales and jump into hyperspace after these people. But the thing about it is, they're in pursuit of an escaped prisoner that none of you are looking for. If she was important enough for you to capture and to hold prisoner in the first place, why isn't she important enough for you to recapture? Why does no one care to recapture this chick who's apparently a witch, who's with the Empire, who is still loyal to the Empire? And y'all just gonna let her run free? I just, everything, everything about this whole politics sideline is getting on my nerves because they got all the heat for the wrong person. You got all the heat for the wrong people. Yeah, yeah. This is why the empire keeps rebuilding, because they're stupid. They do stupid things. They have all the heat for the wrong people. And it's just frustrating. It's so frustrating seeing this cycle continue. Like, can we stop? Can we stop, please? But it's just ridiculous. So we're gonna see if Ahsoka's gamble pays off next week. So this was episode 5. I don't know how many episodes there are. So next episode is episode 6. I know we do eventually see Thrawn. So, and they cast Ezra, so I'm guessing we're gonna see him too. Um, so there's 3 more episodes. Okay. 8 episodes in this season. Okay. it seems like they're stretching out the whole getting to Thrawn. Um, we may not see him next episode. I feel like they're stretching it out to either the seventh or the eighth episode. Or maybe wrong. We may see him next week. But it feels like they've stretched it out this long. They're gonna stretch it out even further. But when she catches up with that dummy Sabine, she better not trust her. It's like, I can't trust you ever again no more. That's it. It's over. We're done. Like, really? Really? You're going to work with the Empire after I told you what needed to be done? Nobody cares about your feelings. Screw your feelings. I think it's gonna work because Ahsoka has to find them. Ahsoka is gonna I feel like Ahsoka is going to kill that evil force user. She's not gonna kill Thrawn because Thrawn is Thrawn. But I feel like she's going to kill the evil force user. And besides, the actor who played him died in real life. So he can't come back anyway. But I feel like him and her are gonna come to a head, and I feel like she's gonna have to kill him. She's gonna have to kill him. Whether that means the blonde chick is gonna be gunning for her now, I don't know, but I feel like she's gonna have to kill him. So I feel like Ahsoka's gonna have to find them. And she's gonna have to save Sabine and then Ezra. But they're not gonna stop the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn because he needs to come back, you know, because the New Republic is stupid. So yes, that that was amazing. They did a lot. They did a lot with Anakin. Um, First of all, they de-aged him, but they made sure there was a lot of smoke around, so it wasn't, uncanny valley. But they de-aged him for the Clone Wars, and but yeah, when he was coming after her, and he was coming after her like Vader. Vader will remain the scariest villain in the Star Wars lexicon. And even as Anakin Skywalker, that Vader is still the scariest. He's still scary. Him walking down the bridge, flashing between Anakin and Darth Vader, that was scary. It was kind of cold. But yeah, so we'll see what happens next week when we get to the end of the rainbow with the space whales. The end of hyperspace with space whales. But she really shouldn't. She really shouldn't forgive Sabine. Sabine was so stupid. She should not forgive Sabine. But yeah, so next week. So okay, there will be a video on Friday, and then I shall see you again on Monday. Um, I think I'm finally gonna watch The Little Mermaid. It's on Disney Plus. So I'm gonna sit down this weekend and I'm gonna watch The Little Mermaid. So we're, I'm gonna sit back because I was gonna try to watch that this week, and I looked and I saw it was 2.5 hours, and I'm like, why is this 2.5 hours? It's The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid shouldn't be a Little Mermaid should be an hour and 20 minutes like the cartoon. What are they doing? I need to see why this movie is so long and what they could have possibly have done to make this movie so long. So One Piece. Where is that? Is that on Netflix? But yeah, I gotta. I can't stomach 2 hours of Little Mermaid. I just gotta see why this movie is over 2 hours long. Like, this is a movie for children. They should not be making children sit still for 2 hours and 21 minutes. This is ridiculous. You know, itty bitty kids can't sit still that long. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? A live action remake of anime. You know how Netflix is with their live action remakes of anime. We usually side eye those. It's great, you promise. Okay, I may check it out. We'll see. Okay, something is going on with my camera, so I have to. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I have to go and figure and check it out and figure out what's going wrong with my camera. But so, okay, so Friday's a video. Monday, I'm going to be talking about probably The Little Mermaid. We'll see if I checked out One Piece. I don't know. We'll see. Um, and then we'll be back again next week with another episode of Ahsoka. All right. All right. In the meantime, thanks for watching.